What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. Final interview at Namm 2020. Anything's on an awesome note. We are here with Josh of Cattle Decapitation. Thank you for your time, man.
You are entirely welcome.
Yeah. It's so awesome to have you here. Before we do a little rundown on the guitar here, I just wanted to ask a couple questions about Death Atlas. The new record is absolutely phenomenal. I really thought like there was a lot of differences between, Monolith of Inhumanity and, the Anthropocene extinction and so on and so forth. Was there like a preconceived idea on how you wanted this record to sound?
Well, when we went into it, there was definitely the kind of this collective sort of opinion that we wanted more atmosphere, and whatever form that took, whether that's, how in certain sequences on Death Atlas, there's more of like a ambient, instruments that are other than like, standard guitar, bass, drum, whatever. But we also wanted to kind of weave that into the songs themselves in a way where it didn't seem intrusive or it was this sort of just thrown in like pad of sound. We wanted to have, one guitar doing one thing and the other one laying down a layer where it just gave a definite, more somber vibe to things. And that was pretty much the only sort of preconceived idea that we had going in, and just to kind of execute that as best as we could.
As somebody who's seen Cattle live so many times at this point, it's always so different, like listening to you on the album as well as seeing you live with your use of crowd interaction and the craziness at the show. Is there a different art to playing live versus like in songwriting mode or something like that?
Well, you definitely put yourself in different, places mentally. Songwriting, it's like, depending on how, bands do it, we were always a band that was traditionally, 4 guys or now 5 guys in a room staring at each other and like, you got a riff? Well, I got a riff, that kind of thing. But now since we have 2 of our members that do not live in San Diego, we have to, send riffs to one another, and I have to, attempt to be somewhat savvy in regards to recording things, which day by day I'm getting better. But so we just had to like send some riffs, a lot of riffs back and forth. So it's a new way of writing, and so you have that sort of mindset, and then you have the live mindset, which is completely different. It's not that they're 2 different skills, but they kind of are. Just the way the way you have to approach it, or at least for me personally, is have that immediate, when you're playing live, that immediate sort of call and response result. Here you are, here you're playing live. Do it, try not to screw up. You're going to screw up, but try to minimize that. And then, writing is just like, not necessarily mistakes, but just like, do it until it's right, get it until you're satisfied, and then present it to them and have them say, that's terrible, do something else, do it again, or whatever. So you just have to be in 2 different states, at least for me personally, to approach them. Live for me personally is more fun in general, but when you are writing and everyone clicks and everyone's happy with the outcome, that's amazing too. The collaborative thing is just, extremely satisfying.
And last but not least, we finally got the guitar here in the flesh. Being that you tune actually in, you say standard or half step down?
Half step down, E flat, yeah.
So, but you're playing very intense music. Is your guitar like really kind of adjusted to sort of fit the style that you play?
It's like the Cardinal. This is Cardinal Instruments East copper top model made by Sam Evans in Austin, Texas. It's one of his regular models. The only thing that is geared towards me specifically on this, aside from aesthetic things, are the pickup choice, which is a pair of Sir Aldrich pickups, and then I use the Godo Wilkinson bridge and a kill switch here, and it's EVO tuners, frets, and then Spurzle tuners. So, it's just, as hokey as this is going to sound, it's just how I play it. As any guitar player, they impart, what they're trying to do, and the instrument just kind of conveys that, So it's not necessarily something that's geared for my personal sound. It's just, I think, I've sort of, the guitar and I've kind of evolved together, and I've evolved my certain aspects of my playing around how this guitar feels and sounds. And I've kind of, beat it to death in a loving way, to sort of mold it into, the incredibly playable, functional, amazing sounding guitar. Hopefully that's what I'm doing. I don't know.
And you just want to give a rundown on the pickups and the strings and all that?
Yeah, it's a Diodario 11s is what I use for strings. I've used Diodarios forever. They're awesome. Sir Aldrich match set. Godo Wilkinson bridge. And Spurzle tuners. EVO frets. And it's just a Cardinal Instruments copper top East model. 22 fret.
And can people pick this up at any like retail location, or is it like mainly like just artists sort of?
The answer is no. But you can contact Samuel Evans at Cardinal Instruments, and he would be happy to make one of these for you. He does have a couple, as far as I know, a couple coppers like this. All of them are unique, so it's not going to look like this unless you spit and drool and sweat in the exact same pattern I will. But yeah, he's readily available on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and then his website, and very receptive and great to talk to. So if anyone has an interest in this, one of his instruments, this model, or just any of his stuff, or for custom work, hit him up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time today.
Absolutely.
Is there just anything else with cattle that you would like to promote? Any tours that have been announced?
Well, we're going to be extremely busy in 2020 and 2021 in the foreseeable future. We have a tour. We're going to be in Australia, New Zealand, and Japan starting mid-February until the end of the month. And then at the end of March, we'll be in Europe for a run, mainland and UK and everything. And we'll also be going to Iceland and Ireland, so this will be super cool. And then probably a U.S. tour in May. Then we're doing all the festivals in Europe in the end of July and August, and then another U.S. tour in the fall, and maybe South America somewhere in there, and then another Europe thing maybe in there. It's just there's some of that that's like probably 85%. I'm sure it's going to happen, and then there's some of it it's like been suggested. So for whatever that's worth, Yeah. But we're going to be very, very busy. So if you want to see the band either again or just in general, or we were just on 70,000 tons and we didn't have merch on that. If you want to get merch, we'll most likely be in your area because we're coming absolutely everywhere.
Awesome. Well, Josh, again, thank you. Everybody, Josh of Cattle Decapitation, Death Atlas, out now on Metal Blade Records. Be sure to pick that up. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.